from a fallout shelter somewhere under Seattle, Washington, it's the show you've been waiting for. Get ready to join your hosts, John and Kenric, as they talk comics, movies, and more. Now here's Spoiler Country!
All right, welcome back to Spoiler Country. I'm Kenric, and that right there, over there,
right here,
overworked Mr. Horsley.
Overworked, yes, that's very true. I am so tired. I apologize for my lazy talk already.
So today's kind of different because we usually have stuff like a Kickstarter signal boost, but because we have a lot of work coming, and that work that we prefer to do, work that we have to do,
right?
That pays the bills because somebody went and bought themselves a big old house
and a car.
And you got a new car too?
Yeah, we bought a Highlander.
Oh, jeez, man. Look at this guy. And he's telling me he doesn't have any money. So
that's why I don't have money. I bought a house and a Highlander, man.
But that being said, we're not doing the Kickstarter signal boost as much, but that will come back and we'll have more coming out because we know that helps people out and we know that you guys like seeing new stuff out there that's independent, that's unique, that's different, that you're not going to get with the big two, or I guess if you want to add Image in there, the big three.
Yeah.
But today, our man on the street, Casey
Allen.
He's really our number 3 guy. And I don't mean number 3 as there's no henpecking order in this. He's our third patriot in the country of Spoiler Country.
That's right.
But he did a wonderful interview with Teresa Del Pilar and Michael Emeritz, and they have a new Kickstarter coming out called The 100 Werewolves and Unicorns.
Well, it's let me correct you there. It's Werewolves and Unicorns. It's a comic anthology from the 100. So the 100 is I actually had Michael on before for Signal Boost a long time ago.
Cool.
For their last project, which was about space and stuff like that. And basically, the idea is they create the comics over the course of 100 days.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a super cool project. I actually joined up with them for a while and was going to be a part of this book or a different book. Yeah. But considering I have no time for anything, I got kicked out. So I don't blame them. I would have kicked me out too. So no hard feelings.
Yeah. So let's have a listen and see what Casey, Teresa, and Michael have to say.
Yeah, take it away, guys.
Thanks, everybody, for joining in once again to Spoiler Country. My name is Casey Allen, and today I have 2 guests. I have Teresa Del Pilar, who is a creator out of Spain. She recently has a webcomic called Graduation Nightmares, and in addition to that, she is going to be talking about a new anthology called Werewolves and Unicorns, presented by the 100s. Speaking about the 100s, we have Mike Emeritz, who is the editor of the 100s. Mike, how you doing?
I'm pretty good, man. Thanks for having me back on.
Teresa, you doing okay out there?
I'm doing okay, thank you. How are you?
Okay, so Teresa, I'm going to start talking to you first. So you are a comic creator. So tell me a little bit about how you got involved with comics.
Well, it's a long, winding story, but making the long story short, I was in a comic book fair, never read a comic really, only the funnies in the newspaper, and then I found a graphic novel, and I picked it up, and I bought it, and I really loved it, but it was too late to make a course correction, so I continued studying at university what I was studying, which was English, and did comics with independent groups, and did scenes. And then when I finished university, I got a job, stopped making comics, and 5 years later, decided to go back to doing comics. And, that's awesome. Where I am right now.
So what was that comic that inspired you to get into creating your own?
Well, it's gonna sound a little bit pretentious, but it was Mouse. I don't know if you know, the comic is by Art Spiegelman.
Yeah.
And so, I've never read a comic. It's an incredible book, and I picked it up and I was like, so this is what a comic is? And I was really shocked.
So you went through your whole childhood not really reading comics. And
well, yeah, Dragon Ball, but only because it was a week earlier than the TV show.
So Mike, how did you get involved with comics?
Well, I mean, similar to Teresa, it's kind of a long, winding story, but my whole family actually, we kind of have a history with comics. So my grandparent or my great grandparents are immigrants, came over from um, uh, Italy, Germany, Poland, and I actually just learned this recently, but they used to just read comics like crazy. And my mom and all of my older cousins, they used to go down to the newsstands to pick up for them by like the stack. So this is total news to me, actually. I just learned this in the last like month or so, but that explains why both my mom and my dad were actually always super into comics. My dad owned a comic shop when I was really little. I mean,
That's
I guess
awesome.
technically my family owned it together. So, I would work at the shop with both of my parents. We would go to Diamond, and at the time there was still Friendly Franks and all that. And I was so young that the people there would be like, "Oh, he's a little kid. Here, have this promo thing or whatever." So I'd walk out with a bunch of ash cans and bookmarks and things like that. So like I've just lived comics, since I was a kid. Started, always at an early age, kind of drawing and making little pictures and trying to tell stories and stuff. And so being that close to the comics medium, I just naturally kind of started trying to put my own little things together, So it was just, super important to me, something that I enjoyed doing. Fast forward several years and, you get older and you start thinking about what are you going to do with your life and all that. Well, it wasn't comics. That just didn't seem to make sense. It was like a different time too. The image boom, it was over. So it didn't look like a lucrative career. So instead I tried to get into game design, and a couple other different things. But every now and then I was always, in my free time, still working on comics. And I finally hit a point, like around the time Jason Brubaker was doing his first book, Remind, and he was doing the blogs and stuff and making the Making Comics podcast. Something about that just really inspired me, and I was like, you know what? I'm not happy in this career. I'm going to quit, and I'm going to really give it all to work on comics. And pretty much I just haven't looked back ever since. I had some missteps for sure, but
So
it's
you're an
really
insane
been like
person.
the last few years that it seems like this is a upward trajectory now. And I don't plan on stopping anytime soon, that's for sure.
That's awesome. So you both are members of the 100s. Can you tell us about that?
Oh, well, I think Mike is more knowledgeable about this whole thing.
Well, I mean, we both are. We've both been in it for a while. It was created by Kevin Cross. He's a skateboarding, punk rocking daddy-o from California. He similarly was working at a job for a while, or working in freelance, doing like client work and that kind of stuff. And he just kind of decided one day, I'm sick of doing other people's work and not having any time for my own work. So I'm going to do this 100-day challenge. And there was a bunch of people doing 100-day challenges at the time. There was like 100 days of basket weaving or Pilates or whatever. It was all kinds of different 100-day challenges. And so he decided, hey, why not comics? So he started doing it, and he thought to hold himself accountable, he'd post videos online. That way, it's public, and it's like, I can't fail at this because, people are watching. And it caught on with a bunch of people. I consider that like kind of the first generation of it. So it was like Kevin, Marshall Lee, who has gone by like 5 different names since then, but right now it's Marshall Lee, Scott Serklin, Gaz Gretzky, and a few others who kind of have fallen off the wayside a little bit since then. And so they kind of started this group. They thought, all right, well, if there's enough of us, let's make a Facebook group. So Kevin went to go and make the 100s, just THE, but the THE 100s is already taken, so he just added an extra E.
Like a TV show, I think.
I guess we're going to be the 100s.
You're fancy.
Yeah, a little pretentious.
Extra E makes it fancy.
So we've kind of like taken it and embraced it since then, like, because it is a little pretentious. It's a little, pinky in the air kind of thing. But so we just embrace it and stick it on everything. But I jumped in maybe around like the second wave, and like that was back in 2015, and like it's just exploded since then. It keeps growing. We keep pushing each other to do better, and it's just amazing. It's a little challenge, but it seems like everybody that comes out the other end of that sort of sticks around, and then we all start getting along and becoming friends. That's how I met Teresa, and then we started hanging out in our little private hangouts with other artists who are also staying up late or waking up early in Teresa's case.
Yeah.
So
I'm with
Teresa-
the No, I was just going to say that when you say we have a secret hangout, it looks like we're in a secret lair or something. It's like Google Hangout. That's what we have.
Yeah.
So tell me about it tell me a little bit about it on your end, Teresa. A little bit about the challenge.
Well, in my
mechanics of
case, it was when I came back into comics after having decided to quit full-time teaching and doing part-time teaching. I was like, I need something that a community, because for me, doing things in isolation is impossible. I'm a social being. Well, we're all social beings. I mean, we're humans. So I couldn't do it on my own. So I was looking for ages for a community of people that were talking about comics, but also making them, which is quite hard to find, really. And, I found the 100s and they were super friendly. They were making comics, and it was the perfect thing, because sometimes I would find groups of people that were making comics, but they were really, I don't know, not very friendly. And the combination of friendliness and activity was missing in a lot of groups. And finally I found the 100s. And I also found the Comic Jam, which is also a very good example of that. So yeah.
Okay,
that was
we're okay. I've actually
Yes.
never talked about the Comic Jam on this show. For every thing I've done for Spoiler Country, I haven't really brought up much about the Comic Jam.
No,
because I will talk all day about it, and nobody will get another word in edgewise. So,
well,
so
do you want me to do like an
guys-
elevator pitch?
So
It's a
hear
cool
this
group.
out. You get a bunch of
Okay.
weirdos in on the same
want-
Discord
yes.
server.
Okay,
And-
cool. I want to know about this.
They talk about dumb pop culture stuff, and then make comics
Yeah.
intermittently, and have a lot of fun in the process.
Nice.
That's basically it. Yeah, we do a comic every week. We pair up a writer with an illustrator and a letterer. The writer gets a week to write a page. The illustrator gets a little over a month to illustrate their page. And as soon as the illustrator is done on their end, they shoot that file over to the letterer. The letterer makes it look like a beautiful gold gleaming piece of artwork, and then we post it on our website.
That's actually
And
how it happens.
awesome. That is so cool.
We
Yeah, you should join, Mike.
Yeah, where do I sign up? Sounds awesome.
I'll shoot you an email later, man.
Awesome.
These I had no idea how important a knowledgeable letterer was to the process until we actually got knowledgeable letterers in our group. And
I completely agree.
holy shit, this is a completely new ball game. So yeah, it makes a big difference. But back to the 100s, you guys have not only a Kickstarter going on, it's your second Kickstarter. So that's pretty huge. And this one is about
Mythical creatures.
Yeah, in general, we kind of, it's funny, we pick a theme, and there's various ways that we go about picking these themes. We're actually doing it in a different way for, well, I shouldn't say anything. There might be a third book, maybe not, probably not, but there might be. But this time
Stop
around,
spilling the beans, Mike.
I know, it's like the third time. So we kind of pick a theme, but nobody's like bound to it. Like it doesn't like, so this was Werewolves and Unicorns, but we kind of made it even broader with and other mythical creatures. Like I think the best example though was Life in Space. We had people that told stories that were literally based in space. We had people that told stories about people who were just spaced out, like living their life in space kind of situation.
about me.
Or I mean, sometimes. But yeah, so it's like a loose theme, and people can go and take that wherever we even had a couple people in this book do stories that were, I guess, kind of related to space, actually. So that actually gave us some cool stories to transition from our last book into this book. But yeah, for the most part, it's cryptids and mythological creatures and legends of different creatures and things like that. It's like the full gamut of just made up of things that don't exist.
What do you mean they don't exist?
Maybe they do. That's right. What was it? Scott O'Green was saying that when we did the title, we should put mythical creatures in quotations.
Yes.
So, one thing I love about anthologies and things where there is a writing theme and is just seeing how far people will stretch that initial theme and just take the ball and run with it. And you really get a lot of creativity out of that. And it's really amazing what people can do. Teresa, can you tell us a little bit about your story? Don't give the whole thing away. Just tell us a little bit about it.
No, yeah, I'm gonna tell you that I'm one of those people that really understood the theme very broadly. So my story is actually about witches, which are not creatures technically, but there you go. It's a school of witchcraft.
Nice. And Mike, are you featured on this as well, or did you just do the editing portion?
I'm featured in this as well. Yeah, I originally wasn't gonna be, but I came in as a backup about halfway through. Yeah, and
that's awesome.
Similarly, I did the broad thing too. I made like a short pitch when we first started it that was more literal about like a werewolf and unicorn thing, but instead I went with goblins. It's kind of like it's an inside joke that I turned into hopefully a joke that can appeal to more people. But my wife and I have just recently, I've got back into it. My wife's been introduced to it for the first time, but Magic the Gathering, my brother-in-law is crazy about it. Like that's all he does now for the last couple of years. And it's like crack, like I'm like, you really want me to get back into this? Like, so I would play with his decks for a while, and then one birthday, he bought me like a case of cases and booster packs and deck boxes, and then I'm looking at my wife like, you don't even understand. Like, there's no turning back. But long story short, she really enjoys it now, and so we build decks and we play against each other. And one of my favorites to do is a goblin deck, and it just annoys the hell out of her. She hates it, and so every time I play something that gets her mad, I just go goblins, and it just drives it home even more. It's even more irritating. So that's what my story is about, is pretty much the antics of the goblins. But
this is off topic completely, but I have a coworker. I work at a company that builds medical equipment, and one of our engineers just quit. And she quit to sell Magic cards online full time.
Wow.
She's making more money selling Magic the Gathering.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah. It's crazy. There was so much. I'm glad I don't care about that as much. I just like playing with the cards. So, I mean, I would probably make a collector cringe with how we treat our cards. But
I had a starter pack of those when I was in high school, just because actually somebody gave it to me in middle school, and I thought the art looked cool.
Yeah,
it was one of the first editions of the game. And when we moved, my wife was like, "Do you even care about these?" And I said, "I don't even know really what they are." And I threw them out. And after hearing about my coworker who quit to sell those fuckers online, I'm distraught.
Oh no.
I'm in my feelings.
Yeah. I gave a bunch of mine away to a friend too, because I was kind of getting out of the game, and he was still super into it. I'm like, "Oh, here, take my cards." And I'm just getting back into it again and looking at all this stuff. I'm like, oh my God, I gave away gold.
Yeah, the creator of we're so off topic, but just one little comment. The creator of Magic the Gathering, I think he's called Richard Garfield or something Garfield. He created a new game this year. It's called Keyforge. And I've been playing like crazy. And the thing is, we bought like 9 or 10 decks, and they're $10, €10 each. But we got one that had, these cards that people love and they want to have them. And we sold it for like $120.
Oh my God, nice.
I've made money playing that game.
And Teresa, you're a board gamer as well. You're pretty.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You go hard into my paint on the board games.
Yeah, I love it.
I just learned the other day they're doing a Magic the Gathering TV show on Netflix.
Oh, really? Cool.
I don't know what's going to be. Presumably, it'll be about Magic the Gathering, but outside of that, I have no idea.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that.
Check it out.
Hopefully, it won't be videos of people playing Magic the Gathering, because that would get
that can get very boring. Yeah. My other brother-in-law is, since we've started playing on the holidays and stuff, he'll just walk into the room and we've just stare at us like, what the hell is wrong with you? We tried to teach him one year, and you could just see the eyes glassing over, and his head was slowly tipping back like, kill me now.
Yeah, there are only 2 possible reactions to that. Is like kill me now or take my money.
No
in between.
So I've never done anything like that. However, my wife and I just discovered Catan not long ago.
And we've been having to get into that. I just can't find it.
That's a gateway drug. You guys should be careful.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think we might have to go to the library and check out D&D or something and get together a group to play that, because I wanna test these waters, man.
Yeah,
sounds pretty cool.
Do it. Get that going.
Make it happen.
So, Mike, you do comics full time now, huh?
Well, I'm working towards it. I'm actually just about to go and take on my first full-time gig this July. So it's been my 5-year plan, and man, I'm coming in right at the end of it, making that actually happen.
Hey, your progress, man.
Yeah.
And are you a writer and illustrator, or do you do? What exactly do you do in comics?
Man, I do everything. I mean, my biggest passion is I love doing the whole thing. I love to write. I got a gazillion stories to tell. I love to draw, and I hear I'm halfway decent at both of them. So hopefully all goes well. It'll all work out. But I do regular illustration too. My work background is more in concept art and design for video games and for film. I have a lot of hands-on, building sets and stuff like that too, costume design, whatever. But my passion is the storytelling aspect of it. So anything that I can do to tell a story, I've tended to gravitate towards those things and try to make a living out of it some way or another. Comics is a lot harder, but that's why that became a 5-year plan. It's taken a lot of work to figure out how that might actually be possible. So I've got some things in the work for the next 5 years, but I don't really want to talk about it yet because I want to see this through first.
Spoilers, yeah.
But hey, man. And when those things come up, you know where to come. For
sure.
Teresa, I don't really know much about you other than that you illustrate comics and write comics. You do. You said you used to be in education?
I still am, actually. I haven't, I'm like the monkeys. I don't let go of a branch until I'm, holding firmly the next branch. So I'm doing a transition at the moment. At the moment, I would say my income is 60% education, 40% comics and illustration.
Okay.
So
that's awesome.
that percentage grows every year, and I'm hoping to make a transition eventually. But education has that thing where it's very stable, so it's very hard to let go, actually.
My wife is actually a kindergarten teacher, and she is enjoying her summer so far.
Oh, yeah.
Although,
I bet. Yeah.
So I'm looking at your Kickstarter right now, which you guys can find it just look up Werewolves and Unicorns, a comic book anthology, or look up the creators, the 100s, and that's THEE100'S. And I'm looking right now. Your goal is $2,200. You guys have already exceeded your goal by $814.
Yeah.
That is pretty rad. And you still have 16 days to go. And I'm looking at the rewards, and you guys really have it set out nice. Can you tell us a little bit about your rewards packages?
Sure. Well, we just wanted to go straight into, what you came for. It's really mostly about the book. I like all the Kickstarters with all the other bells and whistles, but like the way that we structure our campaigns is nobody's making any money off of the book. I'm not. Nobody involved in the whole production or advertising or anything like that. We're all in it for books. So our base goal makes sure that we cover all of our costs and fees and all that for producing it and paying back Kickstarter for their little fee and stuff, and also getting everybody who's worked on it one copy of the book. So from this point forward now, it's like an engine. So the more money we make, the more books all of our creators get. So and the books obviously help us get to that goal the fastest. So the main thing that we've got is we've got the digital copy is like our lowest pledge. That's $10. That'll get you not only the digital download, but we're going to put your name in the thank you section as well. We've got the physical book, which is $22, and that also includes a copy of the digital download and your name in the thank you section. Right now, we've got the early bird. Today's actually the last day to get it. There's only 20 hours left. That's probably our best deal. It's $5 off of the poster combo essentially. So it's like you're getting a lot of stuff for free actually with that one. And then the poster combo is still a good deal at $30. You get the book, digital download. We got the poster of the cover, which is freaking phenomenal. I'm not just saying that. You got to go and check out the cover. Scott Serklin really came through and did an awesome cover for us. And he didn't just do the cover. He did like a wraparound. So it's this, for those that are just listening, it's this girl in a mirror who's like, she's obsessed with unicorns. So her whole room, her whole being is unicorn paraphernalia, and she's got her hands up and she's turning into a werewolf. So it's the whole werewolves and unicorns thing. But he did it in the style of an EC Comics. He's got illustrations of other kinds of cryptids on the side, and this whole thing is like a vanity mirror. Well, on the back cover, we've got that same image, but without the vanity mirror, looking at it the opposite way, and you could see the whole rest of the room and more of the character going through the transformation and stuff. It's really cool. But anyways, amazing. We've got a poster of that, which I just think is awesome. So we've also got, this is super limited. We've got the Cosmic Combo, which is your only way to get our first book in this Kickstarter. We have very, very, very few copies left of the first book because these are all limited runs. Once we print them, that's it. Our agreement with all the creators is, they own all their stories. We just ask that everybody hold off on publishing them for like up to a year after we print the book. And so that's it. We don't have permission to print them again. So we have 6 left of those. So if you wanted to get a copy of book 1, today would be the day to do it. And again, that comes with everything else too that we're offering. We've got a retail combo too. So anybody, any comic shops or retailers out there, you get a deep discount, half off of the book, but you got to buy 5 books. So we'll send you 5 books at half off, plus the poster and the bookmark. Super awesome deal. And I know a lot of shops don't like taking more than 5. So we kept that in mind and tried to do that. And then my favorite of all is the mythical encounter. What's it going to be? We don't know. It's going to be mythical. But that's going to be pretty much everything we've got to offer. Plus, you get to jump and hang out with myself, Scott Serklin, Corey Kerr, a bunch of other people. I don't want to announce too many others because I can't remember off the top of my head who's agreed officially, but tons of people with, just a massive amount of industry experience and all kinds of different things, not just comics, but maybe advertising or just art in general, graphic design, videography, publishing, you name it. pick our brain for at least an hour, and we've been kind of trying to coordinate some things to make it pretty fun too. I hear tell of a werewolf costume and possibly a unicorn showing up. I don't know, but that should be fun.
And that's it. Mike, the unicorn has been you, buddy, because you are pretty amazing. Teresa, I think you fall into that category as well. Tell us, so if you were to want to join the 100 group, how do you go about doing that? What is required of you as a member?
Well, not I would say not much, but at the same time is a lot. So basically, you have to you have to have started the challenge. You have to have a proof that you have started it and that you're on it, and then you send us a message through the Facebook group, and when we make sure that you're doing it and you're not going to spam us, then you're in. There's no more requirements, just doing the challenge.
Yep.
It seems like, did you ever hit a wall while you were doing it, Teresa?
Oh, wow. Yeah, of course. I hit many walls.
I don't want to do this tonight. But that's part about creativity and craft. You know, you can be a person who writes poetry, or you can be a poet. And being a poet is you go out there, you do the craft, you make it work, and you stick to it.
Yeah, absolutely. But this is, I mean, the difficulty of the challenge is, I mean, it is a challenge, so it is difficult. This is not one of those fake challenges on the internet that is like, oh, drink a glass of water challenge. No, this is an actual challenge. It's difficult. But at the same time, you get a lot of work done, and there's a lot of people. If you're saying like, "Oh, I'm having a rough day, I don't know if I can make it," then you get a lot of messages. No, do it, come on.
Yeah.
And are all of the stories on this? Are these all by writer artists? Like
actually,
both
for the
art and writing.
Yeah, 99.5% or something like that. I don't know what math. I'm an artist, but
1 out of 28, I think. Yeah.
We have one team, which they go by McKay and Gray. So that's Reed McKay Fleming and Ursula Gray. Really awesome. They've got their own channel on YouTube that's super informative and entertaining. They're a really cool group of people. But they are our first team actually in the book. Otherwise, everybody else is solo, and it's a solo endeavor. Yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome. And you really have to be accountable to yourself in this group. You can't just put the work off on somebody else or blame. And if you don't get this thing done, it's all on you, buddy.
Yeah.
And
that's kind of the fun thing about these books too, because I could go into so many different things we consider. There's like an admin group that kind of discusses our parameters, I guess, for how we're going to go about these things. And one of the main things is that we know we can trust everybody in this group to deliver because they've already done the challenge. They've committed to something for 100 days and put in the time and put in the work. There's people that try it and don't finish it. There's people that try it multiple times and just can't find that discipline or that little key, switch that they need to flip on to be able to do it. And so we already know, like, if you can do it the full 100 days, like, you're the kind of person we want in on an anthology who's going to show up. And, the only people who've ever dropped out, and this time around we had kind of a record number of dropouts, but that's only because we had so many more people that wanted to even be in the book. But it was all totally legit reasons. Like, someone's just starting their first year of college and had no idea how overwhelmingly busy they would be. All right, cool. Legit reason to not do your comic right now. Or like another guy, he had like some crazy job opportunity come up and he's been busy doing all of that too. So it was very legit reasons for dropping out. But of the people who didn't have stuff like that going on, everybody finished, and everybody finished on time, which for an anthology, that's saying a lot,
Yeah, you have to put a lot of duckies in a row doing an anthology. There
was some sneaky editing trickery in there as well. Sneaky. So yeah, So kudos to Mike as well for the deadline.
It's like herding cats. It's yeah.
Yeah, we tricked everybody. So, and this has been the case for the last 2 books. So, I'm probably giving away my secret, but we gave a false deadline because, I'm an artist. I know how we are.
To do that next time. Well, Mike, Teresa, is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we head on out?
No. Just go check out the Kickstarter, and if you don't like what you see, well, then you're not my friend, because it's like the cover is amazing. You should really go see it. Just go check out the cover; it's amazing.
Basically, Teresa says that if you don't like what you see, kick rocks, buddy. Go jump in a lake. You're useless.
I didn't say that. That was your words, but I agree with that.
Subtext.
She agreed. You're probably a werewolf and need to be stopped.
Mike, so anything else you want to say?
No, just thank you for having us both on. I'm really happy that we got to be here to talk about the book. It's something that I think we all, obviously all of us are part of it, genuinely believe in, or we wouldn't have done it. It's very tough sell to convince 28 people to work for free, but we all genuinely believe in this group, and most of us are all friends, and this is just like kind of an expression of that friendship, our love for comics, and our love for this group that we've all kind of become a part of. So to get a chance to tell people about that is just cool, and I hope that your listeners dig the book too. Yeah,
it looks amazing. And guys, before I cut out, I want to say, you guys, listeners, follow Mike and Teresa. Mike and Teresa both have really good Instagram accounts. Teresa's is Teresa_Del_Pilar. And Mike, your
pretty sure it's just
is
Mike Emeritz,
right here.
I think.
Michael Michael Emeritz. Yeah. And follow them, look at their artwork, buy their comics. Teresa has a link to her personal webcomic called Graduation Nightmares, and it's fabulous. And she has some other stuff on the horizon that I'm very excited to see pan out. And you guys have a great day. Thanks for stopping by with us.
Awesome.
Casey.
Thank you. You too.
And we're back. We hope you really enjoyed that. That was kind of cool.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, not kind of cool. That was really cool.
Yeah, I like it when Casey does interviews because one, it saves us time because I've been so damn busy, which I'll talk about later. But also, he interviews in a different style than I do or that you do. So it's cool to have that third voice in his interviews. Kind of like he asks questions that I don't think about asking, which I like.
Yeah, he's very much like we try to do hangouts.
Yeah,
but Casey does a hangout effortlessly.
Right.
I mean, that's the only way I could think of explaining it, because it was funny when he did his interview with Jimmy Palmiotti. It was like you were just sitting in a bar listening to guys just bullshit.
Right. It was great. That's why that's why we have him. It's for that.
Well,
and
there
for
you
all
go.
that stuff.
Well, there you guys go out there to Kickstarter. Check out Teresa Del Pilar and Michael Emeritz's Kickstarter for Werewolves and Unicorns. Can you say it again, the title for me, Johnny?
Werewolves and Unicorns. It's the 100% Werewolves and Unicorns.
The 100% Werewolves and Unicorns. There you guys go. If you listen to the interview, you like what you heard, go check out the Kickstarter. If you like what you see, give them a back.
Give it a
share.
share.
Go on the lowest level, give them on the things. Yeah. If you can't financially afford, give them a share. That actually does help a lot.
Very much so. Shares help so much. I know when I did my Kickstarter, the shares got it around to so many different people that my analytics on that were so great. So you share it around if you can't support. If you can, give them some money or share. Like we said, share.
There you guys go. Hey, we're Spoiler Country. We are on all the social media platforms. We're heard everywhere podcasts are heard. If we're not on your favorite social media platform, let us know and we'll get on there right away.
Absolutely. And if you want to contact us, you can do it at spoilercountry@gmail.com, scpod.net on our website, or you can call us at, what's our number again? 707-656-2080. 707-656-2080. Call, leave us voicemail, and tell us how much you love us, or tell us how much you backed the Werewolves and Unicorns for.
Yeah, that would be awesome, actually, to know.
And with that, What's our line?
Open your mind
and read more. See ya.